Where's the safest place to live in the Philippines when it comes to earthquake and seismic activity? That's the informal topic for this video. I'm not a volcanologist, a seismologist, a earthquakeologist, even though I play one here on YouTube. Okay, I'm just joking. Folks, welcome to my show. I got to just digging around. I've lost track of how many earthquakes have happened over the past few weeks here in the Philippines. We had an earthquake down in her village, basically very close to her village where we just lived for 2 years. Let's see. Then we had one north of here up near Baguio. Now the one down not too far from Davao off of Mindanao, and they just keep popping up. I've lost track. Obviously that's the short list, okay, and that's what I'm going to talk about during this video. Where's the safest place and a couple of coincidences. So I got to digging around and I come up with a couple of maps, and these are just random maps. You're just clicking and digging, and sometimes a web page don't open or what have you, but I got this from Phil Volks, which is a Philippine, what the hell is it? Volcanology. Hold on, let me get my old man glasses on. Department of Science and Technology, Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology. Okay, there we go. So I come up with a couple of maps. And you don't have to be a rocket scientist to just look at these two maps. So without further ado, let me get in the center of the screen here. Oh, that was loud. Let me get in the center of the screen and see if I can put them up. Boom, boom. There you go. Okay. So let's go over the distribution of active faults and trenches. As you can clearly see, the Philippines, except for Palawan, is in between. Let's see, what do we got here? We got the Manila Trench to the west and to the east on the Philippine, or to the Pacific side, the Philippine Trench. And if you look at all those little lines, and what do they call them? Everything from, my gosh, I'd have to zoom it in. I don't want to get too technical. But if you just look at this map and see that there's all kind of cracks and crevices and trenches and stuff and everything going on, and I don't know what all I know is it looks like there's a lot of activity. And if you look at the other map, that's from 2017, I believe. Seismic map of the Philippines, January to December of 2017. Phil Volks earthquake catalog. Okay, the red is a depth of 0 to 35, and then you go on up. The bigger the circle, the bigger the magnitude. But not to get too technical, just take a look at it. Okay, there's a lot of dots on that map indicating seismic activity in the year 2017. Now, if you compare that to other places around the globe, do their maps look similar? I don't know. I didn't pull it up. That's not the purpose of this video. But what's the commonality? Palawan. Palawan sits outside those trenches. And if you look at the seismic activity of 2017, I have to look close here. Do we have any on Palawan? It looks like maybe a couple of dots. But the point is, the rest of the Philippines, the majority of the Philippines, there's seismic activity everywhere. So, where's the safest place to live? I don't know, because I'm not a seismologist, but the common man looking at this map would say Palawan, right? Now, I say that, but then you go to this article from 2004. Earthquakes rattle Palawan, Philippines, as the region is stable as we thought. Okay, the Philippine island of Palawan, considered a stable part of the seismically, is that a word? Seismically active country was recently shaken by 2 earthquakes in 2 days, highlighting the need to reassess the seismic hazards. Okay, and this is by blah, blah, blah from Phil Volks, if the article is correct. Before everybody moves to Palawan, the other thing, if you pull it up, just as a generality, if you just kind of search around, where's the malaria threat in the Philippines? Well, it'll all point to Palawan. Some will say it's the most prone area to malaria. That's just sort of compressing all the data down into, if somebody had to say, hey, where's the biggest malaria threat? Probably Palawan. Go to the CDC, that's what they're going to say. Okay? But purpose is what? Where's the safest place to live to escape the earthquake activity? Is it safer because of the typhoons? The typhoons usually come, from east to west. They're coming like from the Hawaii side, rake over the islands, head up towards Taiwan, what have you. They're coming that direction majority of the time. And Palawan is sort of shielded by being over on that side. But what's the tsunami threat over there when they're out there in the ocean all by themselves? I'm just posing questions. I don't have the answers. I've always thought about moving over there to Palawan. So that's the first portion of the talk. Leave your comments down below. Where do you think is the safest place to live in the Philippines in regards to the earthquake threat? If you're just joining us, I live here in Angeles City. Yesterday, I thought I felt like a little 4 shakes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I just wrote it off. About 30 minutes later, the old lady comes down the stairs and says there was a earthquake over in Zambales, Subic Bay over that way. But for the most part, if you look at the map and look at the lines and the activity, it seems like we're pretty safe here in Angeles City, except if you consider that we live right between 2 stratovolcanoes, Mount Arayat and Mount Pinatubo. Okay, I'm back. Since I quit drinking, when I sit down and start talking to this camera, it's like my throat I got a cough. I'm just coughing up a storm here. I need to go back to drinking. What's strange, I'm just going to bring this up. I'm not asserting that there's any connection. It's just one of them things that make you go, right? Earthquake down in her village. Boom. The earthquake up near Baguio. The earthquake down in Mindanao. Draw a straight line. There you go. Take a look. I'm not making this shit up. Now, I might be a kilometer or 2 or off. I try to put it exactly, what have you. But if you draw a straight line from that Baguio quake to that Mindanao quake, it runs right through where the quake was next to her little village down there. Again, just things that make you go, When I was looking at it, I was just looking at it, and I'm like, let me pull that distance. Like, holy shit, that's a pretty straight line. And if you know anything about ley lines, that's why I bring it up. That's what caught my eye or caught my attention is, ley lines. And it would take me another video to explain what ley lines are. But, I'm a big history buff, ancient aliens, the pyramids, what the pyramids are really there for, what the purpose was, who constructed them, all that stuff. So when I saw this, I just happened to thinking about ley lines. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to start any conspiracy, blah, blah, blah. No, it's just, it was an interesting, draw that straight line, there you go. What's the odds of that? And I guess, oh, you're just picking and choosing. There's been thousands of aftershocks. Well, yeah, I am picking and choosing. I'm picking and choosing because the one in Baguio is not too far from here. The one in her village was her village. And then that's a pretty big one off the Mindanao coast over there. They just happen to go in a straight line. My goodness. Had a little talk with the old lady a few seconds ago, and she's worried. All this earthquake activity, she's a little bit scared up. Who wouldn't be? But in this day and age, where's a safe place to live on planet Earth? I pose that question to you. Where is a safe place to live on planet Earth? Don't worry, I'll wait. So we're sitting there, I pulled up a map, I spun it around, and I just did a 15-minute, here's what's going on in this region, the threats, this, that, from natural disasters to war to upcoming conflicts. Where's it safe to live on planet Earth? And what I've come up with for a long time, move to the tip of South America. That's about it. The tip of South America, probably about the safest place to live on planet Earth. And don't everybody rush down there, because I don't want the rent to go up in case I make the move. I don't think nobody's pointing nukes at the tip of South America, Argentina, somewhere down that way. And I briefly explained to her about how China looks at us as the front lines, the first island chain. I worry more about that than I do the earthquake issues. Quick note, I saw reports that they're doing a buildup near Venezuela. I've talked about this many times. Here we go, Operation Just Cause 2.0. Shape the battlefield where everybody in America thinks, oh, drugs coming out of Venezuela, drugs bad. Operation Just Cause 2. I'm just tired of the bullshit. I'm tired of the bullshit and being lied to. I prefer just tell the American people like it is. We didn't go to Panama because of drugs. It's because there's a thing there called the Panama Canal. Number two, we're not going to Venezuela because of drugs. There's a thing there called the Orinoco Oil Belt, which has the world's biggest reserve of oil, putting it in layman's terms. Just stop the bullshit. Nobody gives a shit about drugs coming to America. They never have. They use it as an excuse. So folks, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'll give you a second to hit me and call me a liberal. Go ahead. You think I'm liberal? I'm not. I'm just saying stop sugarcoating it. Stop teaching our kids skewed history so everybody goes along with it. Start telling them like it is. We went to Panama because of the canal. We went to Kuwait because of the oil. We're going to Venezuela because of the oil. And we don't have a choice, because if you screw around and let China or Russia get a foothold or a toehold down there, you can't do it. You can't allow them to access that huge oil field that close to America. Well, period. You can't let your enemies get that much oil under their control. We got to get it. We got to take it by force to prevent anybody else. Well, two reasons. We need it. We're going to need it in the long run. And number two, to prevent anybody else. Who gives a shit what government is down there? Nobody cares. But it's just that Americans have become so fucking weak that we have to blow up some damn drug boats coming out of there with a couple of farmers on board to shape the public opinion of Americans where they think this is a drug war. It's just not needed. We're going there to secure the oil. That's it. Want gas to be $2 a gallon? Okay. How'd they get off on that? I was talking about earthquakes. When the real threat to the world is the CCP, Chinese Communist Party. Now, if I run this as a premiere, you watch. The video will get jacked up, it'll be buffering, it'll be loading, the counter doesn't work, nothing works. CCP is still trying to block my broadcast. All right, folks, what you think about any of the topics I just discussed? Leave your comments down below. Battle it out down in the comments. I'm okay here in the Philippines. We're safe. We're snug as a bug right here. Knock on wood. I knocked on wood in the last video, and then Zambales got an earthquake, according to Fatima, unless it's fake news. That's the other thing. A lot of fake news going around, as it always does here. People will believe anything they read on Facebook, so it's very easy to fool them. So I just referenced an earthquake in Zambales that she read about on Facebook, and I truly don't know if that went down or not. Is it time to start prepping? If you're living in the Philippines, how much prepping should you do? Or is it better to just bounce up out of here if things continue to get worse? That's the question. Are things going to get worse, or are things going to calm down? I'm hoping they just calm down. That's what everybody's hoping. Just calm down. The little woosha, woosa, alas. Enough. One of y'all brought up that all this activity may have something to do with the sun, some solar flares, some solar storms. In closing, live every day as though it were your last, because you never know when that's going to be. Just like in that movie, The Lord of War, I reference that all the time, where Nicolas Cage is with those, is it two? I think two beautiful sisters, right? He's got them up in the room and can't find a condom or something like that. He's worried about catching HIV. And the girl said, "Why are you so worried about something that'll kill you in 30 years when there are so many things that can kill you today?"
Well, what if I have AIDS? Don't you worry?
You worry too much.
Huh.
Why do you worry about something that can kill you in 10 years? When there's so many things that can kill you today.
That's probably from Confucius times that got interjected into that movie. Why worry? Because you can't change it. Worry about things that you can impact, that you can change. For example, yesterday I went in there, kind of a lazy afternoon. I was going to make some beer biscuits. Even had me a can of Heineken. make proper beer biscuits. Couldn't find any baking powder. Had butter, I had the good beer, had everything I needed but baking powder. Damn. I made them anyhow. They turned out to be about that thick, like scones, like a cross between a pancake, somewhere between a pancake and a scone and a biscuit. They were delicious. Everybody went to town on them. Everybody enjoyed them. Maria put some Nutella on hers. I put peanut butter. Fatima put peanut butter, honey. But my biggest problem yesterday was I couldn't find any baking powder for my biscuits. Then today I'm sitting here talking about geopolitics and earthquakes, when really what's within my scope right now, today? What can I change? What can I affect, impact today within my scope of power? I can go to the store and get me some baking powder and make better biscuits this afternoon. All right, folks, I'm out of here. Hope you enjoyed the talk. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. If you can, hit that thumbs up button for us. Helps out with them old Google squirrels inside this dang old computer and their algorithm. What else am I supposed to say? Smash that like button, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. All that good stuff that back in the 80s, Johnny Carson never had to say. All right, I'm out of here. Peace out. Good job, Buddy Rowe. Go wake up sister, man. Love you, buddy.